there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. The reasons sovereign men can be seen as dangerous. I'm gonna tell you what. Y'all may think it's all all your buddies, society as a whole is going to see you, when you really develop your sovereignty as like cool. Yeah, he's so cool. Everything. Honestly, the only other men who are going to see you as cool are other sovereign men and maybe some women who want to be a part of that. Other than that, oh, trust me. Oh, no, they're going to see you as dangerous. They're going to get nervous around you. And it's three primary reasons. And some other people had talked about this. It's like different contexts and everything. But I was like, you know what? That's true. That is true. Like one of the first things is being seen as independent. I've noticed that. I've noticed that just all my life. Whenever you come off as independent, meaning you don't need someone else. You don't need them. You can do stuff on your own. You don't need their help. It's not saying you're not going to use their help. Or y'all could work together on something. But when you come across as strong, you can do stuff on your own. That means somebody doesn't have a level of control. Because let's be real. A lot of people will try to control you or influence you when they think that you need their help. People use it as a power tool, unfortunately. There are some people out there who are altruistic when they're trying to help people. But let's be real now. Like when people hit you up and say, hey, I can do this service for you. It's not altruism, it's money. But when you're independent and you don't need someone's help like that, oh, that can bother people. Especially if they're around a person they can't control. Oh, snap. Like they can't influence them. Like I remember I was in school at American and this dude was trying to convince me to take some job. He had hooked up, right? Said, yeah, you can get a job here, do this internship. And, and I was just like, well, no, I got something to do. I don't really need it. Thank you, though. And I was sincere when I said thank you. But then he kept trying to push it. He said, well, this could do this for you. I said, well, I already have something that's more along the lines of what I actually want to do in life for a career at the time. Right? And I mean, he was getting mad and pissed. And I looked at him. I just said, you know what? He tried to come off as real cool and everything. But that's a little control thing to be able to say, he got me that job. He influenced me to get that job. And I was polite. I wasn't mean to him. And I actually did appreciate it. If I needed a job, I probably would have took it. But I had a job. I had something, But that independence bothered him. I'll never forget that. I will never, ever forget that. And there's a political angle I could throw in there, but that would turn this conversation different. Let's go on. But that can be seen as dangerous. Materially, and that's actually in there too. Materially, when you don't really need something, when you are independent. That's why I always promote a man having his own business, having his own freedom, even if he works for someone. Now, let me just be clear. If you got a nice career working for someone, and that might be your calling and everything, keep doing it. Shoot, keep doing it. I mean, you're really making a help. If you're a doctor, you're working at a hospital, okay. You're an attorney working for a law firm. You're a plumber working for a plumbing company. Whatever. Whatever that you're doing, that's cool. But when you're in a position where you don't need someone's job, they don't have any influence over you, you know how dangerous that is to a person because people will use that economic leverage on you. But you don't need their money, though. When you don't need someone's money, shoot, and that's right up there with the independence. It bothers a lot of people because let's be real, people use money to influence people. Let's be real, just even on a basic level. If you go into a restaurant and you tip extra, you get better service. That's influencing someone. Or you say, hey, I need you to do this. I'm going to pay you this much amount of money. Boom. I use myself for an example. I still get people who hit me up and say, hey, how much I'll pay you to talk about this? And I'm like, nah, I don't take requests. It's amazing that some people, oh, wait a minute. The money, he's not moved by the money because I don't need it. But see, that person is dangerous once again because you can't influence him. So a sovereign man, first of all, he's independent. He's materially independent. Nobody can do anything against him. You know, he can be his own man. He can be his own man. He can do whatever. And then the third, really the most powerful one, is emotionally independent. Your emotions can't be swayed. You're not a follower. You're not a follower. Now, people always talk about that alpha and beta and everything. What I've always said, a true alpha is any man who got his household. He don't even have to have anybody in it. He's the God of that world. Now, part of that's being emotionally independent. Your emotions are not easily swayed. This is not saying you don't have emotions, but you don't have the buttons to be pushed. You're a truly independent thinker. And yes, you're going to get mad and you're going to get happy. You're still human, but you're not swayed emotionally. If you look at a lot of stuff out here, or how people either try to scam you or lead you or try to get you to follow their agenda, they really work to appeal to your emotions. Emotions. E and then motion. They trying to influence your actions. But when you're independent emotionally, that's dangerous. Why? Once again, for the first two reasons why a sovereign man can be seen as dangerous. You're independent. You're not moved by someone trying to push your buttons emotionally. You're not moved by it. People will try, but they can't, because it's like, you know. Now they'll try to call you cold-blooded or something like that, or try to do something to push your buttons. But when you just like, they're not bothered. Because you notice that scares people. You ever come across that person that's stoic? You saying whatever and they just like, now it's not to say that they not being, having some emotional reaction. They just not showing it, but they're independent. And see, all of that together is part of your sovereignty. Your sovereignty. When you're in a place, you just an independent person, you're materially independent. Like, I can say what I want. I'll use myself. I'll say what I want. I don't work for anybody. I don't work for anybody. I can say whatever I want. And that's very powerful. And then emotionally, you can't influence me to do something I don't want to do. And see, if you get to that point, you're seen as dangerous. You make people nervous. They are powerless over you. Because let's be real. We live in a world where people are trying to have power over someone else one way or the other in many ways. So when you're a truly sovereign man, people don't have power over you. You live according to your will and not someone else's. I want y'all to think about that as you build and work towards your sovereignty, okay? So, as always, keep rising to become that sovereign man. Peace and blessings.